Hello and welcome back. If you're new to the channel and you want to not only perplex up your Heroclix IQ, but also outwit the competition, make sure to Hulk smash that subscribe button and also the little bell notification so that you can be sure to not miss anything. Today on this Heroclix Live Meta Talk, we're going to go ahead and be talking about the watch list for Q4 2017. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for those of you that don't know what the watch list is a list that WizKids puts out every quarter, and it tends to have a couple figures on it that are giving them some problems, so they're on there to signify that they're considering changes for them. They don't necessarily say what the changes are going to be right away, and then after they look at them for a couple weeks, I'm not sure exactly how long they take to look for them, or if they already know what the changes are going to be before they post it, and they just post it so that we're ready. I'm not sure about that, but the three figures that are on this list are for this this watch list are Uni-Mind, which is no surprise to really anybody, Havok Joker, which is a bit of a surprise, and also the boxing ring, the convention exclusive boxing ring. So let's go ahead and get into this, and I'm going to pre-apologize for sounding a little funny. I went to the doctor's today, and hopefully it'll all be taken care of soon. So, just bear with me if I have a coughing fit or, get a drink, try to keep that stuff down. And also, before we get too far into this, if you want to support the channel, please check the links in the description of this video. There's the Amazon affiliate link that takes you to a map, but after you click on that, even if you don't buy the map, anything you buy on there in 24 hours will help the channel, which is really important right now because my computer monitor is on the fritz and not really working. And right now I'm just looking at a blank screen hoping you guys are seeing what's going on. So, any help for the channel like that would be great. We also have Patreon. Have a lot of cool stuff that we give away there. We've given away an SNES Classic, giving away custom dice, custom tokens. Hopefully we'll have something cool to give away there every month. And the more people we get, the cooler the item is to give it away. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get into this. The first one we're going to talk about, and let me just preface this whole thing with, I don't believe in changing things once they've come out. It's bad, especially for things like the convention exclusives. People paid a lot of money for those things, and they just should have been play tested better. I understand why the list exists, but I don't necessarily agree with it. So a lot of these are going to be, again, I don't want them to change, but this is my thoughts on how they're probably going to change, or possibility for how they're going to change. I know a lot of people do like these watch lists, and I know a lot of things, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! They have watch lists, bands lists, things like that. So it's not uncommon. It's just my own personal feelings is that things should be play tested before they're released. Who should play test them? Maybe it's that the play testers they have aren't doing good enough. Maybe look at the the last 3 years of various national championships from around the world. Let all those people be the play testers as well as the world champs. And then, once they've been in it for 3 years, on that 4th year, rotate to the new guy. And those guys and, a couple girls should be able to figure out if something's broken or can be broken easily. And that should give you a pretty good indication of, what's been play tested well and what hasn't. And if somebody proves that they, their particular figure keeps sliding by every set, then, excuse them from the process because obviously they're not doing what they need to do. So, first things first, we're going to take a look at the big boy is Uni-Mind. So the big thing that people complain about is that he doesn't need to just target himself like the other Eternals for his +2/-2. His pick a power, which is at the beginning of your turn and your opponent's turn, and his stop click at the end of his dial, which is protected pulse wave, protected outwit. And that's really about it. So what I think is going to have. There's a couple possibilities. They're going to maybe make his perplex just for himself. Because I don't think they're going to make it that you just get 1 + 2 or -2 perplex. That's too integral to how the figure works with the extra Eternals and stuff. So I think they're going to keep that. They might make it so that he can only target himself like the other Eternals, which would make some sense. He'd still be pretty good. It would be like a soft nerf. He'd still be good on his own. I'd say at that point he becomes better at 270 than he does at the 150. Because then he's basically a one-man army. So I would consider that. They also very well might make it to where you just pick a power on your turn, and then you can't pick it on your opponent's turn, so that you can't pick like an offensive power followed by a defensive power. You pick one or the other, and then you have to live with that decision. Or the last thing that I could see him do is just full-on opponent it like they did the Goblin King and say no power cosmic at the 150 point line. And at that point, there's no reason to not use his perplexes, but it does make it so he can be outwitted. And with how they changed durations and stuff like that, where you outwit, but it really only does you good during your turn and not during his turn. That would be a powerful thing, and then that puts him in there with Hakeem Thunder. I would still say without Power Cosmic, he's better than Hakeem Thunder and Goblin King. But to just say no Power Cosmic 150 point line might be. I could see them easily going that way. And again, my screen is black, so if somebody's posting comments, I will do my best. I got a workaround for it. So at the end of all this, I'll try to answer any questions that I wasn't able to see right now. So that would be, I think that's actually the most likely. And to me, that's the hardest nerf that they have, is taking away his Power Cosmic. But I could see them leaving everything else the same and just taking away his Power Cosmic 150 points. The next thing is the Havok Joker. This was honestly a big surprise to me. I haven't noticed that he wins anybody any games. He definitely denies points. He's a lot of clicks to get through, but I would call him more of a minor annoyance than something that should show up on the watch list. And I think that this is one of the things that's going to show up on the watch list that doesn't get changed. Excuse me there. I'm like 99% sure they're going to change Uni-Mind. I don't see, with the current uproar, how they don't change them. Although I do believe that he could get out not changed, and he's not going to ruin the meta even at the ROC and limited. I don't see it. But with the up in arms and just try to appease the crowd, I could see them doing that. But with the Havok Joker, I don't think they're going to do anything with his points, although they could. They could up it to 15 points a token or 20 points a token. Maybe make him worth 100 points instead of 50. That seems a little steep. I think the more likely thing they're going to do is just say you can't possess him, because right now a popular thing to do is possess him with Proteus. So they're just going to say, can't be possessed. And Mastermind's really good right now, but it seems weird to me that they would say he can't be masterminded to unless they know that a figure is going to come out in an unreleased set that has like a super mastermind, at which point I could see them, if it's like mastermind within 6 squares in line of fire, and somebody had that Havok Joker, I could see that getting egregious pretty quick. So they might say, can't be have damage masterminded to him. So those are the two big things I think. If he was going to get changed, it's going to be can't be possessed and can't be have damage masterminded to him. Other than that, like I said, I don't really think he needs change. He doesn't win anybody any games. Anytime I ever played against him, he was just an annoying thing that I left for the last thing of the match. And if I had time, I'd go back and get him. And then the boxing ring. And this is a big one to me because this is the second con exclusive to show up on this list this year. The other one was the PIM tank. And this is bad. This is the worst thing I've seen. And I'm not talking about the boxing ring. I'm just talking about errating things that people paid money for. People pay money for the boosters, but it's not like, if you pulled a chase and you actually pulled it, you paid $13 for that chase. And yes, you're happy to have it, but you're not, you didn't spend $70 for that chase, knowing that you were going to get it, knowing the power set that it had, and the only way you could get it was the convention, or if you waited until after the convention, you had to pay an extra $20, $30 to get it. So that's what I really don't agree with changing the convention exclusives. I didn't like it with Faust. I don't like it now. I agreed when they changed the PC rules for Faust. I thought that did a lot to them. And I would have rather seen them change the PC rules and just ban Faust than change how that card worked. But so the boxing ring, for those of you that don't know, it's a piece of terrain that you set down, and it gives -2 to attack when attacking from outside to inside, -2 to attack from attacking inside the ring to outside the ring. You have to stop when you enter it unless you have certain improved movement ignores, and then it gives you +1 to close attacks when attacking somebody else inside the ring. So the popular thing to do was put your Uni-Mind in there, use his +2 -2 perplexes, and help out. I don't think they're going to change the boxing ring. I think it's just on here as a product of Uni-Mind. And I really, really, really think it would be bad form to change it. The only thing I could see them doing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe making it so that basically it can be destroyed, sort of like the invisible jet, where you attack through it so many times and it gets destroyed. As far as I know, the boxing ring doesn't have that drawback to it, so I could see them doing something like that, where it's like, attack it, every time somebody attacks from outside to inside or inside to outside, you put a counter on the sideline, and then roll a d6, and if the d6 is that much or less, it gets destroyed. That way when you get up to 6, it's gonna get destroyed. But again, I really don't think that, and it sits bad with me that this would be the second con exclusive to get nerfed. The PIM tank it went from every team has it to nobody even talks about it. Now it's still good, and it's fun to play, and I liked the idea of, still now even I like the idea of taking a little tank, turning it into a big tank just for thematic purposes. But it went from top tier meta to something nobody even wants. And you had people that paid what was it, $70 starting off, and now it's like $30 because WizKids decided, well, this is too good. Well, maybe play test it. I feel like convention exclusives should get extra slack that regular booster figures don't, as far as competitiveness, if they realize after the fact that it was too good. Just because there's that upfront cost, you're buying it because you know what it does. There's nothing blind about it. But that's just my 2 cents. Now, hold on here 1 second. I'm going to try to fix my monitor because I do have something else that I want to talk about just for fun. Sort of Heroclix related, but not. Woohoo! I can see everybody now. But, alright. So, what I wanted to talk about real quick, just for fun, was Disney buying Fox. I thought that would be a cool subject just to touch on real quick. Apparently, the price that was named is $60 billion with a B dollars, which is I have trouble even thinking about how much money that actually is. But, you know, at that point, they'd get back Fantastic Four, X-Men, stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about how they'd maybe bring those into the universe, because I would love a live-action set of a Fantastic Four movie or a X-Men thing. So they could pretty easily do work in Fantastic Four, the MCU right now. Just have them, you know, just be some scientists. You could even have them work with Stark at first, then they get mad and go to the Baxter Building or something like that. Since Iron Man seems to be the focal point of the MCU, and then, or you could have them, you know, sort of be lost in time and then rediscovered, like what they're doing with Captain Marvel, but have them be from like Hank Pym's time, because I think they talked about in the Ant-Man movie that they tried the Avengers Initiative before. So it'd be cool if they were like the other Avengers that Hank Pym and Wasp were with. So I think that'd be cool. So, you know, you do the Fantastic Four movie, and it's whoever it is. I don't know who would be the bad guy. Galactus is somebody that needs to be saved for like phase 6 or 7. You know, if we're doing, you know, three phases builds up to another big bad like Thanos. You got to save Galactus for last. But anyway, you do that. You have him discover the negative zone. So, you know, you could almost do Mole Man if you wanted to, or the Tinker, or Mad Thinker. Mad Thinker would maybe be a good one for them. And then just at the end of the movie, they discover the negative zone, and they've been talking about it. And that sets up a Nihilus for the second bad guy. And then with all this dimension things, with the quantum zone and Ant-Man, they talked about that they're going to have, and they have the negative zone. You could have them open a rift into another dimension. It could be like the Fox X-Men dimension, and Hugh Jackman comes through as Wolverine, and that would be it. And it's just, you know, that's the little end scene. It's just them opening a rift, and you see Hugh Jackman and Deadpool come through. You know, I think that would be really awesome. It'd be a way to merge universe, because right now it's the MCU is pretty well established and there's no mutants. So that would be an easy way to do it. The other thing to do would be during the Infinity War thing, there's going to be a time gem used. So it could be, you know, they could explain away mutants with the Tesseract, sort of like they did with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And between that and a time gem, they could jump back in time to, you know, maybe the last 100, 200 years. Well, if it's Wolverine, well, if they want to use Apocalypse, then they got to go all the way back to ancient Egypt. But we'll say that they're not going to do Apocalypse, so they're just going to jump back, you know, a couple hundred years, so that they can have Wolverine, and then mutants are going to be a thing once they fix the timeline. Like you know, they'll save the day, Thanos will be beaten, but mutants are going to be like the thing in this new reality. But all the other parts of the MCU happened. That would be another easy way to bring them in. That could be cool. And at that point, you have your choice. I heard that they want Hugh Jackman to be Wolverine in the MCU if they do that. Dude's on point. I mean, he's a good Wolverine, but he is getting older, so I don't know how long he's going to want to do that. And I thought Logan was just such a good movie. You know, maybe just let it be. I would say at the very least, give him a cameo to where, you know, he hands the mantle off somehow to whoever the new Wolverine's going to be. But if they brought him back and said, be Wolverine, I'm not going to yell about it. It's up to him if he decides he wants to go through that all the time. But let me see here. My screen went out again, so I got to do my workaround. And again, if you guys want to help me get a new computer monitor, go ahead and check the links. Click that Patreon, help me out there, or you know, go on Amazon, buy a few things. It's the holiday gift giving season, so you know, anything you buy on there would get me a commission, which would help me get to a new monitor. So hold on here, let me try to fix this, see if we have any questions, and I'll be right back. Alright. So we got the newbie, the Gray. What's up to you, sir? Oh, and also, I forgot, we got another way to get money here. We got the super chat. And the chat thing. It's the little money sign thing. You can hit that. Throw me $1. Sort of like a stripper, but not quite. I promise I'm not going to take anything off here. But that is... And my monitor just went off again. Hold on here. Alright guys, well regardless of if you click on anything, you know, on the playback or if you're watching it now, I'm still going to end up having to get a new monitor because this besmirchment will not stand. But anyway, let's check, see if anybody posted anything. Nope, still just have the new Gray. Got a couple people watching. And alright guys, so that looks like that is, hold on. Alrighty, so that is everything I have for you today. We will have another live upload on Sunday. It's probably going to be a recorded one. So that's all I have for you today. As always, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.